Hello and welcome to Let's Review and the final week of Winter Wolves Month. Okay, whatever has been making that noise is inside the bloody house now.
I believe you are correct. Might I suggest weapons?
Sounds like a plan to me.
I thought so.
Is that the gun from Lost in Space?
Indeed it is. A terrible movie, but an exceptional weapon.
Okay then. I probably should be getting on with the review, shouldn't I? Always remember me. The best argument I've ever seen for wearing a helmet while on a motorcycle. Gameplay. As with a lot of visual novel life sim type games, the gameplay of Always Remember Me is limited to the choices you make and the places that you visit.
Here we have the main map of Always Remember Me. From here we can choose to visit a number of different locations, including our house, the ice cream shop where we work in order to earn money, the mall where we can spend a lot of that money on various things, and the hospital where Aaron resides, along with a variety of other places. The money is primarily used to buy items that'll help boost various stats. So if I travel to the mall, for example, I can go and do some shopping. And there's a number of things we can buy. For example, new books, which can be used to boost our relationship with Aaron, as well as reading them on our own to improve our statistics. There are also books which can include the quality of the food you make, which will help boost morale and energy higher when using them. The Pear Netbook, which is an obvious Apple reference, which is of course fine, which allows you to write romantic stories, which will help you boost your romance, and various other things. You can also spend that money on things like food to improve your morale and energy. Other places we can visit include the library, where we can practice our writing, read an old book, or if we have an unread book, that will be read a new book, which has better results when we succeed and reduced failure states. Here, for example, we can choose to talk to Aaron or to Eddie, who is one of the other romance options. Now, if I choose to talk to Aaron here, we have achieved a slight boost to our relationship with him. Yes! And we have succeeded in talking to him. It is possible to fail, which will lead to a morale and energy loss. And Abigail always turns up. You will notice that we have now gone from noon, past afternoon, and into evening. Once we're into the evening stage, a number of different things happen. So, for example, I could go to the disco, which, while it's open during the day, there are far fewer things to do there. I could also go to the mall, which, as you'll notice, no longer has the option to eat. I can also go home, where, for example, I can watch some television, which will allow me to regain morale and energy. We then reach sunset. So from here, I could, for example, go to my room and choose to write a poem. Yes! And again, I've succeeded in that, which has boosted my creativity, my romance, and my morale, but it sapped some of my energy. At the end of the day, you will always automatically go to sleep. And you'll get a little summary of what's happened in the day. Awesome! You can actually fail at sleeping, which will reduce the amount of energy and morale you recover. If you succeed, you will regain a large amount of energy, which is extremely useful. You then come to the start of a new day, during which you have to work, providing it's Monday to Friday. And again, you have a chance to fail. If you succeed, you will gain additional money, which is very useful. And that is roughly the process of one day within the game. There are events that will crop up that will further the story, but on the average day, that is what you will be doing.
Overall, the gameplay for Always Remember Me is fine. It's nothing great, but it achieves what it sets out to do, and as with all these games, it's really just a tool of the story. At the beginning of the game, the protagonist Amy and her boyfriend Aaron are involved in a motorcycle crash. As a result, he gains the #1 video game malady, which is
Amnesia.
Of course it's amnesia, the crutch of writers everywhere.
To be fair to them, at least it is the boyfriend rather than the protagonist who is suffering.
Fair point, I'm willing to give them that. Following the accident, Amy must decide whether or not to remain with a boyfriend who cannot remember her, and try and help him regain his memory, or to move on and try and find someone else. As relationship dramas go, it's not necessarily a bad setup. Where it does fall a bit flat is in the extra characters, which include...
The ex-girlfriend.
Spot on. And...
The parent who disapproves of the relationship.
Father, specifically, but again, you are spot on. They are as close as the game gets to having antagonists, and they are generic as hell, especially given what happens at the end. Which is...
At a guess, the ex leaves off screen and something happens to make the father give his approval.
You're rather good at this.
No, it's just rather easy.
Regardless of its slightly cliché nature, Always Remember Me's story achieves what it sets out to do. There are 4 romance options with 9 different endings, 2 for each romance, plus an additional one should you end up alone. The other romance is naturally dealing with whether or not it's right for you to be seeking another boyfriend given the condition that Aaron is in. Ultimately, I think that this game suffers from the same problem that Spirited Heart did.
You are referring to the disconnection of the romances.
Exactly. Because none of the romances are connected, it means that if you don't choose to pursue them, you are very likely never going to encounter them, which is a little bit of a problem. To compare, one of Winterwolf's newer dating sims, Roommates, actually has you interacting with these characters constantly, even if you're not attempting to pursue them romantically. And it works so much better for making you feel like you're living in that universe. As a result, I would have to say that Always Remember Me's story works okay, but it's never going to be remembered as a classic. The art for Always Remember Me isn't bad by any stretch of the imagination. It's certainly a lot better than Spirited Hearts, though it's certainly not the best Winterwolves games I've ever had. Overall, it's pretty decent, and I will admit a particular fondness for the cute little cartoons that play out and donate Amy's mood. In fact, here's an extra sequence using nothing but them, because it's cute.
Hello? Who are you? I'm Amy. I'm your girlfriend. And I love you. Wait a moment, Amy. Why? He's my boyfriend. But he doesn't remember you anymore. And the accident has more side effects. Oh? What are you talking about? Oh, nothing. Do you understand now? Sorry, Aaron, but I don't love you anymore. Bah, women. Abigail, you know you're cute. Oh, Amy, what about time you noticed me? Abby, I love you. I love you too. Let's get away from this place.
The music for this game's okay overall. It's mostly based around a single song, which is in no way bad, it's just not my particular taste in music. If you like it, fair enough, everybody has different tastes and that's perfectly okay. As for the voice acting, it's limited to your usual victory, yays, and defeat, awws. Overall, they're not too bad. They manage not to get too annoying, and frankly, that's about the best you can hope for things like that. So, did I enjoy Always Remember Me? Yeah, I did. Should you buy it? If you're a fan of the genre, it might be worth picking up. To anyone else, I'd recommend you only try and catch it in a sale. It's certainly not Winterwolf's best game, but it's still not a bad example of the genre. And that is it for Winterwolves Month. Thank you very much for watching. Now, if you'll excuse me, Martin and I have to go figure out where the bloody hell that wolf call has been coming from for the last month. I will see you later. Alright, Martin, you take upstairs, I'll take downstairs. Very well. Damn it, Spot!